I grew up in a little town called Slayton, Texas. If you've never heard of it, well, that's all right. Most people haven't. It's one of those places where nothing much changes. Same diner, same rusty water tower, same kids riding bikes past the cotton fields like we owned the place. This story happened when I was in the 7th grade. I remember that because we still thought we were invincible back then. Me, Jeff, Lynn, we were constant companions. We spent every weekend riding out to Horseshoe Bend Canyon, about 2 miles past town. Dirt trails, scrubby mesquite, and this old concrete bridge where the creek ran under the road. We'd jump off the banks, dare each other to climb the rusty guardrails. It was our little clubhouse. Then one Friday, Jeff showed up with a folded piece of notebook paper. I found it taped to the signpost out at the bend, he said. Looks like a joke, but it's freaky. The paper had a title, Rules for Staying Alive at Horseshoe Bend. Thought it was some high school kid's idea of a prank, but looking back, it wasn't a warning. It was a record. The list had 12 rules, handwritten in sharp, tight lettering, the kind that makes you feel like whoever wrote it was watching their back while doing it. Jeff read them out loud. We laughed at first, but by Rule 5, the jokes had stopped. Rule 1, don't go past the bridge after sunset. The shadows on the canyon side move differently. Rule 2, if you hear growling, keep your eyes down and walk backward until you're back on the road. Don't run. Rule 3, do not whistle. Rule 4, if you see a coyote watching you from the hill, count to 7 slowly. If it's still there, leave something behind and go. Rule 5, never stay after dark, especially not near the creek. Rule 6, if something calls your name from under the bridge, don't answer. It's not who you think it is. Rule 7, don't follow the barking, even if it sounds like a dog in pain. Rule 8, if you hear footsteps behind you, stop. If they stop too, you've been marked. Rule 9, the air will feel thick before it comes. If the wind dies and everything goes silent, get on your bike and ride. Do not look behind you. Rule 10, it doesn't bleed. Don't try to fight it. Rule 11, if one of you disappears, don't go looking. Finally, Rule 12, whatever you do, never go out there on a full moon. We joked about it, of course. Jeff made coyote howling noises and Lynn pretended to mark us, but I remember stuffing that paper into my hoodie pocket. I didn't want to leave it out there. The next day was Saturday, so we went out to the bend as usual. That day started like any other. Jeff had a pack of Pop Rocks. I swear he was addicted to those things. Lynn brought his brother's transistor radio, the kind with the silver antenna and the tuning dial that never quite landed on a station cleanly. We blasted out FMX from Lubbock. Hard rock classics like Foghat, Bachman-Turner Overdrive, and took turns pretending we were DJs on a pirate station broadcasting from the canyon itself. I brought my dad's flashlight, a big metal one with the black rubber grip. Not because we thought we needed it, but because it made me feel like I had gear, like I was ready for anything. The creek was cold, even in July. It ran clear over smooth rocks and broken chunks of cement. We waded in up to our knees, skipped stones, and dared each other to walk barefoot over the bridge. Jeff screamed like a little girl when something brushed his ankle. It's just a stick. He yelled like it was a snapping turtle. Lynn climbed up the slope bank, slid back down like it was a water slide, and then stood up, covered in green mud, grinning from ear to ear. We talked about stupid stuff, whether we'd ever beat Contra at the arcade, if the new comic book shop at the South Plains Mall in Lubbock had the latest Silver Surfer issue, or whether or not Brenda would ever go out with any of us. Ah, Brenda. She worked the soda fountain at the drugstore on Main Street. She was in the 10th grade, 3 years older and way, way out of our league. But she always had a smile and a kind word for us. To say that we were in love would be an understatement. I never said it, but I used to bike slowly past the store just in case she was working the counter. I think we all did that. Time disappeared. The sun drifted down without asking permission, and none of us noticed until the light changed. Jeff looked up and said, "Hey, do you hear that?" I paused. There was no music from the radio anymore, no laughter, no splashing, not even birds. The air felt still, completely unnaturally still. Lynn picked up a rock and tossed it into the creek. It made a splash, but it sounded different, off. "We should go," I said. Lynn rolled his eyes. "It's not even dark yet." "Yeah," Jeff said, walking toward the bridge. "One more cross and we'll head back. Last one of the roads at Cow Pie." I hesitated. That paper, it was still folded up in my hoodie. Rule 1, don't go past the bridge after sunset. But I didn't say anything. I didn't want to be that guy. So we followed. The other side of the bridge was different. The trees grew closer together. The slope dipped down like the land itself was curling in around us. And that's when I saw it. On the ridge above us, it looked like a dog at first. Big, lean, hunched over, but it moved wrong. Too fast, too low to the ground. And then it stood up. Its eyes caught the last bit of sun, but they didn't glow like animal eyes. They burned red like coals. I froze. "Do y'all see that?" I whispered. Nobody answered. And then it barked, just once. Loud, sharp, and wrong. We didn't run, not at first. We couldn't. It was like our legs didn't get the message. The thing dropped to all fours again, moving along the ridge, fast, low, and too smooth somehow. Its limbs didn't bend the right way. It moved like it was built to chase. Jeff was the first one to bolt, then Lynn. I followed, heart thudding so hard I thought I might pass out. Our bikes were still leaning against the guardrail at the bridge. Mine fell as I jumped on, the pedal catching my shin. I didn't care. I pedaled like my life depended on it. And I didn't look back. I couldn't. Rule 9, if everything goes silent, get on your bike and ride. Do not look behind you. Lynn screamed. Not words, just raw sound. Then nothing. Just the grind of tires and the wind finally coming back. I made it to the paved road. Jeff was already there, bent over his handlebars, pale and shaking. "Where's Lynn?" I asked. Jeff just shook his head. "He was behind me," I said. "He was right behind me." We waited 10 minutes, and 20, nothing. And then Lynn stepped out of the tree line. His shirt was torn. One shoe was missing, and his eyes were wrong, kind of wide and glassy, like he wasn't seeing us. "Are you okay?" Jeff asked. Lynn blinked, then smiled. "Yeah," he said slowly. I'm fine." But it wasn't his voice. Not exactly. It was off by a little bit, like someone trying to sound like Lynn. We went home and didn't sleep that night or the next. Lynn came to school Monday like nothing had happened, but he stopped going to the creek with us. He stopped talking about comics. And sometimes I'd catch him watching me when he thought I wasn't looking. Not angry, not sad, just studying me. I never told anyone, not even Brenda. Years later, when I finally worked up the nerve to ask her out during summer break from college, she asked me why we didn't go to the Bend anymore. I told her I just didn't like that part of town. But the truth is, I never went back. I kept the paper, though, the one with the rules. There's a 13th one scribbled on the back in different handwriting. I didn't see it until years later when I moved out and unpacked that old hoodie. It said, "Rule 13, if one of them makes it back, watch them. They might not be alone." I don't know if Lynn ever really came back or if something else did. But if you hear barking near Horseshoe Bend after dark, don't answer. Don't look back. Just ride.